Hey guys, this is Bill Rice with Age Lead Store, and today we're going to talk about the age-old question, do I leave a voicemail or don't I? I'll tell you right up front, my philosophy is to use a voicemail, to leave a voicemail, and I'm going to tell you exactly why and how to leave an effective voicemail in today's episode. Back in a sec. So the age-old question, do I leave a voicemail or don't I? I believe firmly that voicemails are important, and I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why, just to kick this whole episode off, and then we'll go into how to effectively leave a voicemail. So here's my argument for leaving a voicemail whenever possible. I'm a huge fan of sales automation, those sorts of things, and I understand the reasoning behind maybe just making the call and then exiting before the voicemail for efficiency. Maybe even you believe that, hey, that's just the way people do it these days. They don't ever leave a voicemail. I don't leave voicemails for friends, but that's a different kind of phone call. So here are my 3 reasons why you should be leaving a voicemail. 1, you're trying to start a new relationship. So if you make a phone call and your phone number is not in their phone, they don't know who you are, and there's no relationship to be had, and I'm certainly not going to call back some random phone number that gets stuck in my missed calls. So that voicemail is essential to starting a relationship. The number 2 things that I think is really important and probably an underestimated value proposition behind leaving voicemails is you just get to practice your sales voice. Opening up that line and leaving a quick, succinct message on a voicemail, a message that intrigues them and teases them into actually making a call back to you, you're really perfecting your sales voice, because that's probably the most difficult environment in order to start a sales process. You're literally landing in somebody's random voicemail box that's maybe part of your lead. Hopefully there's some sort of internet lead, so they've got some intent there, but generally you're just landing in their voicemail and you're trying to make your best case for them to call you back. Your best case for, hey, I can help you, and I'm a good, genuine person that you want to start a relationship with, even if it's a sales relationship. Number 3, you're going to get into their voice box. You're going to be able to at least get a listen, or one of the new technologies that I think makes this voicemail leaving even more important is most of our voicemail now, we're actually reading the transcript. And so when they open up to see, where did I miss this call from? They're actually going to read your sales pitch. It's better than email. Even if they don't listen to it, they're still going to know who you are and what you have to offer just because of that little snippet of transcript. So again, number 3, big fan of this. It is the easiest way for you to actually make some form of connection and start your sales pitch. Okay, here are my 4 points to leaving an effective voicemail. First and foremost, and all of these are actually pretty simple, but we mess them up all the time. And I hear salespeople on my own voicemail messing these basic components up all of the time. Okay, first and foremost, wait for the beep. I can't tell you how many voicemails I get where the person runs over, hey, this is Bill, and I don't get their name, I don't get their phone number, because they literally ran over top of the beep, or they started before the beep. So my training tip is listen for the beep, give yourself just a second or so of dead air, then start your voicemail. Because again, depending on how that mechanism is working and recording, you may or may not get that first little snippet on their voicemail, or it may not come through clear on the transcript. So wait for the beep, give yourself a second or so of dead air, and then start a nice, clean, succinct voicemail message. Number 2, keep it short, 15 seconds. It's really easy when you're talking to dead air to just sort of ramble on. So big proponent of practicing your voicemail. Know what you're going to say. Practice it down to 15 seconds. Again, leave that beep, little dead air, 15 seconds of nice, clean, crisp voicemail, and make it, I want it to feel natural and make it feel like a real voicemail versus something that's totally practiced. But like I always say, practice your script like you're an actor, not like you're trying to memorize something. So get that 15 seconds down, practice it over and over again so it feels nice, natural, casual, and get it down to that 15 seconds, because you don't want to ramble and annoy them with this big, long message, especially if they're actually going to listen to it. And then if it's transcript, man, they see all that gobbledygook, they're just not going to look at it. So again, practice, 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 practice. Some of that's just leaving a bunch of voicemails, but get it down to 15 seconds. Make it sound natural and casual. Number 3, and this one is really important because of that transcript piece that I told you about earlier and that I think is so valuable. Make sure that you speak clearly and enunciate, because you want to make that transcript as perfect as possible. You can actually practice this by either leaving yourself a voicemail or doing a voice to text on Google. You can get Google Assistant. There's a lot of different little apps you can get on your phone. Practice your voicemail into that voice to text. Another thing that I do all of the time is I have stopped actually texting people and always do the voice to text. That way I can practice actually getting a clean transcript on the way that I speak. And that's a great way to practice your voicemails and just to start speaking more clearly and enunciating better and making sure you've got a cleaner transcript, because it's the same technology that's actually transcribing those text messages. So go ahead, practice in your own phone by just continually texting using your voice to text. And again, really perfecting that clear, enunciated speech that's going to give you a beautifully clean, easy to read transcript. So again, you can make that initial contact, you can make that initial pitch and get through all the other barriers that are out there. And then number 4, always end on a specific question. This does a couple things that are really important. One, it actually makes them feel like there was a purpose to the call, and it also gives them kind of a subconscious reason or feeling of obligation that they should answer your question. So think about ending each of your voicemails with a question, much like you would with a friend. Hey, Bob, are you going to be able to go to breakfast with us in the morning? Right? It's a nice, easy question. So sales, again, you need to end with a question so that they feel that sense of obligation to call you back. And again, it makes your call feel like it had a purpose. Hey, Jim, I got your inquiry about a 15-year mortgage. I'd love to answer any questions you have. What questions do you have about a 15-year mortgage? Something like that. Hey, I got your question about your whole life policy and whether or not it's serving your needs. Hey, what questions do you have about that policy? Something like that. Now let's talk about creating an effective voicemail script. You know, I'm a big believer in scripts. I believe you should sit it in front of you and use it as a tool. But even if you don't sit it in front of you, even if you don't memorize it, which I don't advocate, you should have a script. Don't just fly by the seat of your pants. You think it sounds casual and it sounds natural, but actually if you don't have a script and you haven't thought through what you're going to say and made it a very strategic process in that script building, you actually sound more nervous, more unsure, less confident in what you're actually presenting. So again, big advocate of scripts. Voicemail in particular. So this is what goes into an effective voicemail script. Use their first name. This is so important because it tells them right off the bat that you have some specific information about them and that this call is actually a familiar one. A call, hopefully, that they've initiated in one way or another through an internet lead. They've requested some information. You've done some research in order to personally reach out to them. Again, sets the groundwork that this is a familiar call that they want to take. Number 2, identify yourself. Make it clear who you are, where you're from, and don't try to create some sort of game where you're hiding who you are or that you're actually a salesperson. Again, you want to have the confidence that what you are delivering has so much value that they want to know you and that they want to start a relationship. So on that voicemail, hey Bob, this is Bill. I'm from Age Lead Store. Again, clearly identify who you are, what organization you represent. It'll start the relationship on a much stronger foundation. And again, if for whatever reason they don't want your product, they don't want your service, or they're already defensive about it, they're not going to call you back. But the worst thing you want is to get a call back where they feel like they've been tricked. So again, never leave a voicemail that is in any way deceptive or misleading. Always be clear. Hey, I'm reaching out to you. I'm using your first name. I know who you are, and this is who I am. Identify myself. Number 3, Always include a benefit to calling you back. Either have something to offer or a benefit or reason that they want to call you back. Again, this is all about having confidence in the product that you're selling. Hey Bob, this is Bill from Age Lead Store. We have the highest quality age lead data on the market, and we use this incredible lead optimization technology to make sure that all of this data is going to be as pristine as possible, and we offer it at the lowest possible price. You want to talk to me in order to fill your pipeline with mortgage leads this month, right? Again, give them some reason, some benefit, something that makes you unique, something that places you in a different spot in the market that encourages them into calling you back and hearing more about that story. Again, we're going to keep it to 15 seconds, but your product should be so awesome that you have something that you can compel them to want to hear the rest of that story. Number 4, say your phone number. Now, I know that everybody has caller ID and you automatically have the phone number in your missed calls and that sort of thing. That's okay, but still, they're oftentimes reading that text transcript, and it's really important to have your phone number clearly in there, because then it makes it really easy for them to just click on that phone number and make that call back. So I'm still a big advocate of saying your phone number and saying it twice so that you have a nice clean transcript and that link that will allow them to instantly push to call. Number 5, hopefully your phone number that you're calling from has the capability to allow them to text you back. If that's the case, make sure that you tell them it's okay to text me at this number. So many people will potentially get a phone call from you, but maybe they're in a meeting or maybe they tied up and they can't get to you. But if you tell them, hey, I can be text messaged at this number, they'll go ahead and text you, hey, I'm in a meeting, but I'd like to talk at 5 o'clock tonight. I'd like to talk this evening when I'm home with my spouse, something like that. So give them permission to text you at that number if that's a viable option for you. Number 6, tell them that you're going to email them or to expect an email from you that will have more details. This does 2 things. Again, continues to reinforce that I have some information or I've done some research about you, and so I put some effort into contacting you. You've used their first name, you obviously have their phone number, and now you're telling them I also have your email, so I'm going to deliver a little bit more information, a little bit more detail in that email. The second thing that it does is it allows you to put more of your unique value proposition, more of your sales pitch and information into that email, and it keeps you from feeling like you need to throw out all of your sales pitch into that little 15-second voicemail. This is really a nice subconscious kind of relief, because if you know, hey, I'm always going to send out that email with a lot more information, and now that I've left them a voicemail, I've done it in a good way, I've tried to create a personable relationship, they're probably going to read that email. It will keep you from feeling like you have to have diarrhea of the mouth on your voicemail and leave this big old long voicemail. So always tell them, hey, I'm following up with an email. Check that out and let me know if there's a fit. So again, you kind of tell them that I'm going to put that email out there, give them a little sense of control, but definitely puts them on the lookout for that email. It'll also help you potentially get better response rate on your emails. And then last but not least, give them some sort of call to action. Ask them a question or ask them to do something. So give them what that next step is. Hey, I'd like to set up a meeting so that we can talk about that 15-year mortgage that you were wondering about. Or when is the best time to XYZ. So again, give them some sort of question or call to action. Maybe it's just to say, hey, check out and make sure you look at that email because this is inside of that and you want to read that. Or I'm including this guide to having a better life insurance policy and you want to see that information. So again, give them some form of call to action or a question at the end of that voicemail. And again, take all of these 7 items and build out a script so that you have all these pieces together and you can practice it over and over again. Okay, so now let's take a listen to what that voicemail might sound like. Hey, this is Bill. I'm from Age Lead Store. I'm just reaching out to you because you left a question on our website about our age leads and how they work. Let me tell you, we have the best, highest quality age leads. We use a unique lead optimization technology to ensure that quality. And so I just wanted to follow up and answer any questions that you have. I'm going to send you a quick email that gives you a little more detail about how the age lead store works and how it can benefit your sales process and fill up your sales pipeline with qualified prospects that you select. Hope to hear from you soon. You can also text me at this phone number and I will follow up with that email and another call if we haven't talked next week. So let's take a listen to what a sample voicemail using this framework might sound like. Hey Bob, this is Bill with Age Lead Store. I'm just following up on the inquiry that you made on our website about age leads and what they are and maybe how they can help you. I'm getting ready to send you an email that's got a lot more detail on the Age Lead Store and exactly how our process works. But let me tell you, we have the highest quality age leads. We use a proprietary lead optimization technology that ensures the highest quality possible on all of our lead inventory, regardless of the age. I'd love to tell you more about that. We can either follow up on a call, you can text me at this number, or just reply to my email, and we'll get you set up with your first lead order. Hope to talk to you soon. Have a great day. Simple as that. Covered all the pieces. Hopefully that was within about 15 seconds. Might have been a little bit long, but again, with some practice, you can continue to hone that down and make it a very succinct, clear message, benefit included, with a call to action, and telling them you're going to send them some more information and give them a little control over that process so that you guys can build a relationship over time that hopefully will yield them value and you business. So as we wrap this episode up, just want to give you some high-level tips on creating effective voicemails. Number 1, practice. Number 2, be personable and to the point. Number 3, know your prospect. Add some little piece of information, even if it's just their first name, or hey, I'm getting ready to send you an email that lets them know that you know who they are. And then last but not least, always stay positive and confident. I know as you're banging through those 100 calls a day, it's hard to keep your energy up, but take a break and make sure that on every single call, you have positive, high energy in your voice so that they feel like you're somebody that they want to talk to. Hope all of these tips help you out with voicemail. If you liked this particular video or any of our videos, love when we get the likes up. Even if we miss the mark, give us a thumbs down. That's okay. We want to know about that too because we want to give you the very best content. And then of course, as always, make sure you hit the subscribe and the little notification bell so that you'll get all of our sales tips that are coming up this year. We want you to be a subscriber on our channel, and we want to help you get the very most out of your aged leads. Till next time, this is Bill with Age Lead Store. Again, don't forget to subscribe, hit that button. We'll see you on the next video. Hey, this is Bill with Age Lead Store, and we, on these videos and in this channel, help you get the very most out of your age leads with sales training and tips that are going to make each one of those leads more likely to convert to a sale.